always pay attention to who's behind. Back up for me.
Spend the morning class of bringing people down to our level. Somebody will spend the afternoon bringing people up to our level. So the first thing I want you to start with is just a piece of this connection here. So when he grabs, I'm going to create just a little bit of space. So I'm going for EQ eventually. And if he's got a good grip here, this is a tough space to be working on EQ. So I'm just going to create a little space here. And as I'm doing that, I'm moving right just a little bit to that side. Touching here, setting my edge, and he's on the outside. So let's just start with that piece. That sounds complicated. We'll work up post-lunch. Good around the road. So, at this point of initial contact, there's a lot of things we can do. We can do, for instance, what Real Sensei was showing in the last class, and make this the moment where he's moving in. We're giving him that space. And I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently for this one. So I'm going to touch out to here, I'm expanding, and then I'm going to release to the other side. So I'm going to just put a little bit of that and then release to the other side. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to break this down, this is my background. I'm going to break it down into pieces which are probably way too small, where I'm going to try to move around my wrist without moving my wrist, and I'm going to do it 3 different ways. Okay, so I'm going to touch out, I'm going to turn around this axis, and then I'm going to turn around this axis, and then I'm going to turn around this axis. So we're going to do EQ, but we're not going to turn our hips yet. Okay, so we're just working on this initial piece. So I'm going to touch out. He's on that side. I'm going to touch in. He's on this side. I'm going down and in. And as I go in, I can move my body in. And at this point, I have the control of this body. So he should not have, at least much, noticed my moving around, right? And needless to say, you can blur these all together and do this if you wish. But maybe for the starter, and since it's post-lunch, break it down a little bit. So touch out, let it pass, drop down, move your own way. Yeah? Post-lunch face, okay.
Did you see
Oh, good.
I'm going back forwards. If I go like this, then you move all over me. When you release him,
turn back. Kind of, yeah. So, sort of the point of this is to do as little as possible and to get as much information from them without them getting information back from you. And there's a couple points where it's really tempting to want to do something, right? Like maybe all the folks. But so, right here, this is not that I do this, right? If I push in her space, I get driven back. And since she attacked, I'm likely to lose on that. So I'm just creating space. I'm getting bigger. This is the same thing we just talked about this morning. Expanding my chest, roll back. And then I'm just letting her go by. So I want her elbow to go this way while my elbow goes in a little bit, right? I could probably do this, but it's easy to get trapped there. So I'm just letting her go to that space here. And then I'm just changing the line of direction. Now here's the part where everybody's like, right, they want to rotate around their elbow again. None of these rotations is around the elbow. They're all around the wrist. Boom, wrist one, wrist two, here. I'm moving in. And for me, this should be harder than anybody else, right? If you're shorter, this is like super easy, right? Here's the wrist, boom. I'm in, and I come straight back in. So we'll do it with the drop. And again, I want you to resist doing EQ. Everybody's got EQ, so the temptation is going to be come into here and go boom to there. But for now, I want you to come into here and just see if you can weight them on both feet at the same time. And don't do what I just did, which is push with your shoulder, bring your body down. She should feel like this is the worst ukemi possible to take because neither foot can move and she's kind of stuck. All right? So that's what we're going to shoot for. And we're just going to, try not to mess with them. I'm just going to touch, let her go, and go up to this space. And it should feel like I'm doing this. Yeah, that's really horrible. If you need to reach around, give your partner a hug, that's okay. No. Then we don't have another way. No. First time.
Extend forward as you
I want her to feel like she went forward into me. Then I can come forward. But if I push on her, actually, she has a bend. She can use that low again, especially if I'm not turning. It should feel like you're no doubt.
don't push.
This one is here. It goes here.
Just let it fall.
Pretty much. You want a connection, but you don't want to be pushed.
See you did that. Okay, so you've got me extended out here. You're going to release. You're going to let me come in. So, yeah, just a little bit, so that I'm on the outside. Right? Okay, put this under. Don't push. Just put it under. Don't move my wrist. Okay, now put this into my jaw without moving my wrist. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now cut. Okay, and that should be. So I should feel like I go up and I'm stuck like this. It's really recognizable as the uke. It's not recognizable as the nage. But the temptation is always to be, I come here, 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 and then I do this, right? I don't want to do that. I want to do this, 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 and I want to come up over the top of it. For now.
Yeah, I still feel pretty.
I can make it work.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, any questions about that? This is a lot easier if you are actually smaller than most of your nages. Because Alright, so when I'm doing this, our natural arm reach is such that there's this point where I would bring them over my head, it doesn't happen, right? Because I have to pick him up. Whereas if I'm down here, right, boom, 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 this is pretty easy. Then I come straight down, he's stuck, right? So get used to putting your hands over your head instead of over their head. So we're just going to finish this out. We'll just do the same whole technique, but now you can add the EQ part. So what I want you to do is get the person caught to this position and compressed. And now when you turn, it's really easy to go to the other side because they're already stuck. There's no way they maneuver around or do anything else. He's stuck, he's stuck, he's stuck. Roll it. And now I bring him to this side. All right, so then it becomes EQ you know and love. Should be easy.
You have them like cutting up line. So you're cutting here, and then you come back. And you get 100%.
That's why I look like work. Just that is the first time.
Didn't know, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
As you do that.
That's it. Yeah, don't overrun. Still.
From here, you know how to push.
Now, across the knees. Now, raise the elbow and show me. Yeah.
Push with your toes.
Even when you release here, don't make this if you.
In other words, you shut and then stop pushing. Because it's not how we do that. Pressure here, I guess, and then you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go motion. Ready? No pressure. Psychological pressure. Okay. Here.
Yeah.
Take off some of the pressure. If you can go down with that head, pressure. Don't push down.
Yeah, it is. So it's on a speed.
Eventually, once I start going like it's just
What I don't do is doing that all around my elbow. I want to be doing this around my whole body.
push down, just put the brakes.
No, the problem is, if I extend out, I'm going to do this, I pre-grade at this pressure, but that's not what I want. I want you to go over here. So, I want you to enter out my space. So, when I'm releasing, I'm sending you along this line. It's like I do this. But I can't move it right there. That's why I go. You may still have to move in closer.
Turns over by itself. There you go.
Pressure.
More, that's real slow.
No, can't get it. It's a pusher. What I want to do is go. Teach him what Same thing here. This is good. Okay, don't press here again. Just take it in the face like that. That's it. Otherwise, you got to bench press here. I want to do that today.
I can feel it now.
I don't want you to be I'm looking at the big yeah. I think driving in a very good you're actually So, and I think I'm going to do this, I'll do it two different ways. I'll do it the completely classical standard EPO way first, and then I'll do something that's a little bit weird. But the classical one is I go out to the side here, maybe do a little cut, turn this to here, bring it down. Right? That was familiar? And the piece I want you to work on is which side of the line is your moving. Right now, we're on the same line. Okay? So when I move out, I can move her to this side of the line, or I can move her to this side of the line. And I think sort of standard thing is to move her to that side of the line. So the attending is designed for me to take the line here. And it's not really that I'm sharing the line. It's not like we're doing this. So I'm moving her to this line, then I'm changing sides, moving her to this line, and bringing her. And really all the pieces of the last technique are in here. They're just a lot harder to see. So I'm still bringing her over the side, and then I'm rotating myself under, and I'm bringing my elbow up here, and then coming down. So play around with this. This should be very familiar. You know, or do exactly what you know how to do. It's fine to
Slack is out. Ready? Back.
And then I bring it to the other side. I'm going to go here. I'm going to switch sides into a port right there. I don't want any pressure on changing my husband.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now you do. No, I can't do that.
This is a little problematic.
Still there, but you get a little better.
It's a little bit different well, it depends on what line I get you on. So I'm going to move and hopefully put you to this side. If I put you to this side, then I'll enter here. It's a connection. If you block and go to this side, it's different. Actually, it's like if I get you to this side here, I'm going to do the same thing of moving you up in your change sides.
And then he goes, no,
Very good. I put you on that side and at the last minute I move you. And it's an extra move.
Keep reaching.
And I'm like, very good. Bring your feet together. I've been doing it for 60 Alright, so the next variation, this is a weird variation, but it came out, we were training one evening, trying to do this technique. We were all being assholes, basically. And so, so for this technique, you have to find someone who's either an asshole or can pretend to be one. Aaron, let me learn you. So, yeah, do what we did. So you grab, okay, so I gotta do this. That was, don't want to do anything, right? I do this, and it's like, oh, that really went well. You know, so then I'm like, and we're just in this space going, what the hell? How do I move him? So this technique is for that situation in some sense. So he's in here, he's anchored down. So we're going to do the atemi off the other side. So I'm going to do the atemi off here. And what I'm trying to do is to do exactly that. Draw his arm in a little bit. Okay. Then his arm's going to be like walking away. And I'm going to walk toward Mark and Jim. So I'm going to come into here and I'm going to walk to there. All right. Notice he's going to start to come in. So this is kind of bad. But I'm going to cut that off by now changing my hami and go this way. So I'm going to go to this position here. Right, so this is this sort of inside step. Not many people do this. And it's just kind of fun to play with, particularly this kind of stuff. So I atemi, that draws him in a little bit. I go as if I'm going over there perpendicular. And now I'm going to step into the space. And now I'm going to move him from this side of the line to that side of the line. So I just bring this here. And it comes right down into this squishy, nice. So, when this works, it just feels so good. So, I hope everybody gets this to work. So, Tammy, walk that way. And, obviously there's an issue here. So, here, then in. Bring them across your body, like I'm walking right toward these bodies, and down, down, down. Try it out. It's a lot of fun. At least I think it is. So I'm not stepping out, right? I'm just going to do this position here. Right into your foot. If you watch the last just trying to get you to push this in more. And then this is going to come in. So I cover that by coming into this space. So I can't do that. This is so I do this, and that brings you in more. I go here, and I come into this place. I got cut down. I got all kinds of pictures. So I'm on top of this space. Yeah. I feel like let's see if I can replicate it.
Yeah, still want it.
That puts you up very much. So we'll do one last thing. I'm going to steal from Bill. So if Bill teaches us later. So this is related to the same thing. We're just going to do same side grab. And I'm just going to do the same kind of touch. So on this one here, when I did this touch, I'm really trying to get him to come back in on me. So I came in and he lost it. So the same kind of thing in here. I'm trying to get him to react to come to this side. So I'm putting him to the outside, and then I'm going to let him go to the inside. Okay, so that's the basic idea. And we're going to set up for Nico. So up until like 2 days ago, the way I was doing this is I go out. And as Bill pointed out, that really works well if you outweigh your partner by 100 times. If you don't, it's not as great an idea. So I can do it. But he's coming onto the front foot and setting the outside. And then he's going to rock back. So all we're going to do is we're going to come in, touch him, rock back, and pass it up to the knee. And then from there you can hasso, and it's just a horrible thing. So, but don't do the knee kill. Let Bill do that. Or Bob. So we're just going to come and try to feel the difference between these three different things. One is I extend it flat and connect the thread to the outside. Two is I lean and connect the thread to the outside. The third one is I come to the front foot. And I'm bringing this in, but I'm inviting Fred in. Fred's like, I will hit you. and at the moment when Fred's going to hit me, I go to here. Okay? Yes? Nodding? Shaking? Something? Cool. Now you're totally grounded and you can push up. So, the third one, this one. So I'm coming all the way to the front. I'm pulling in with a lock. I'm extending out and releasing back. So I can just do this all day. So it's a bump thing, but not a bump. If that makes any sense. Shift in. He's going square. A little bit. Grab one leg. Release. Come out as you release. Boom. The front hand is going to go. Yeah, I think that was passive. Now, the lasso with my arm. Yeah, that's good. That was good. I told everybody not to tell Bill. Let's traded our ways. The way I was doing this, the way no one does it. That's fine. So bring this. It's like he's pointing it. That's the pointing thing, right? All the way to the front foot, and then releasing it back. And then you just right back. The hustle to get more hard. Don't do this. I didn't move my feet. I moved you. Now you're here. Whoa. So except you don't. You're looking at each other, you're probably on the same one. Yes, no? You're all right. It's shorter. This part here, I'm trying to bring acid. And the hustle is back here. It's like you're doing acid. Essentially, just to get response.